Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 4 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams to the best teams possible for my team unlimited, and I would say and/or competitive play, but there's not really much competitive play these days. With that being said, helping y'all build the best squad possible with what you currently working with. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 14,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with this first team today comes in from KBJ. He's got KBG, sorry. He's got 250K at the moment. Doesn't know who else he needs, but he's open for suggestions. And looking at this squad, Curry and Kyrie is an amazing point guard duo. And then he's got B-Roy and Vince. That's exceptional. Scotty and Tatum, exceptional. Draymond, AD, Bosch, Mourning, Horford, Dumars, Tom Gugliotta. This is a really good team. When I look at this team, the fact of the matter is you already have Bosch, you have AD. You know who would be the biggest upgrade on this team? Would be a guy like Shawn Kemp. Is he worth locking in is a question that you have to answer for yourself. It depends if you already have Mitch Richmond potentially. If you already have that card, then he definitely might be worth locking in because it's going to cost like 40K MT. If you don't, maybe not. But he would be the biggest upgrade here because you could put him at power forward, put AD at center, and I think that would make your team upgraded because obviously you're probably not targeting a guy like Shaquille O'Neal, who's just incredibly expensive. So that's really the only main upgrade that I see for this team right now, though, is a guy like Shawn Kemp, because the rest of your squad is super duper solid. Definitely like this team a lot. Second squad today comes in from Ignacio. Says he's 3 unlimited games away from getting B-Roy. Has 800,000 in team. Was thinking about collecting cards for Sean Marion. I would not do that, but starting lineup bench, he's got, interestingly, Draymond off the bench. Okay, let's look at this team and let's make a couple of changes. So first change, start Kyrie, start Draymond at the 4, start Chris Bosh at the 5. So we got Steph Curry, Brandon Roy. You need a 3 and you have 800K. Let's get Scottie Pippen. Steph, B. Roy, Scottie Pippen, Draymond Green, Chris Bosh is your starting lineup. Off the bench, you have Kyrie, Clyde Drexler. Bruce Bowen, backup 3 will be great. Backup 4 will be Anthony Davis, and backup 5 will be Hakeem. Is the 10-man that I would run. If you could build that 10-man, that's what I would do. I wouldn't spend the MT on the cards for Sean Marion. Buying guys like Scotty and AD, you at least be able to get some of the MT back at some point when you sell the cards after grading them or whatever. You'll get some of your MT back. Not all of it in all likelihood unless you get super lucky with grading. But yeah, next team today comes in from Sharpie. He's 3 cards off a D-book. Wondering what he should do in terms of his power forwards. I mean, Steph and Draymond. The Draymond boost is gigantic for Draymond specifically. Steph's boost is not very big. It doesn't make a big difference for Steph in the duo, but the Draymond's boost is gigantic to the point where I do think it's worth starting Draymond and bringing Kemp off the bench in this squad. Looking at this team, when D-Book gets on your team, I think D-Book's going to be your backup shooting guard probably, right? If you're going to start Curry, D-Book's going to be your backup shooting guard. He can run the offense off the bench. I wouldn't start him next to Curry because that's not a lot of defense, and I almost think a guy like Baron Davis would be a target as well at the or an Anthony Davis maybe as well. Baron Davis, Anthony Davis, one or both of those guys would be guys that I'd be targeting in terms of grinding and saving MT for, because Baron next to D-Book gives you a better defensive PG, but I guess Kyrie's free and he's still capable defensively, so I would just leave Kyrie probably. Anthony Davis is the card that I'd be targeting because he would upgrade your starting lineup significantly, allow you to bring Hakeem off the bench. I would sell Hakeem and grind some MT so you could get Anthony Davis, actually. I think he's that big of an upgrade over Hakeem, and I think Giannis is totally fine as your backup center, so for me, that'd be the number one player I'd be grinding for is Anthony Davis because he's going to be a game changer for your squad. Next team today comes in from Blaze. He's got 31,000 MT, not a lot there, but Kyrie and Joe Dumars is a fine point guard duo. I will live with that. Kobe and Desmond Bain, that needs work. Dylan Brooks, Cam Whitmore, meh. Giannis and Brooke Lopez, Jabari Smith, Laurie. I like Giannis and Jabari. Lopez and Markkanen, not as big of a fan. You only have 30K MT though, so right now we got to make do with what we can. I would go Kyrie, Dylan Brooks, Robert Covington, and then off the bench you go Dumars, whoever you prefer between Kobe and Bain and Cam Whitmore. I think that's your 3-man starters and bench. Then your big men, Giannis can be your starting 5. Jabari Smith, I guess, will be your backup 4. In terms of center, you really need to grind the equal chance packs. You need to grind the equal chance packs. The Ruby especially equal chance. Well, I mean, the Sapphire and Emeralds could give you cards that might upgrade your team as well. But the Ruby equal chance pack, if you get Baron Davis, he would be an upgrade over Dumars. And if you were to get Ibaka especially, he'd be a giant upgrade. And then any of the Amethysts would make your team as well. Well, I guess Ja might not, but DeMar would upgrade your shooting guard position significantly. Karl-Anthony Towns would be your best center. Like, it would make your team a lot better if you could get those. And then you can kind of go from there, because that'll hopefully give you potentially guys like DeMar Demar and Ibaka, who could fill huge spots on your team that need help. Definitely would grind those out. Ibaka's a card I would be saving for regardless. Center is your biggest spot of need. You need a really good center, and Serge Ibaka is an amazing option, so that's a guy I'd be targeting. I don't know if you feel like you're good enough to go get Chris Bosh, but if you think you're good enough to go get Chris Bosh, he would be an incredible upgrade for this squad as well. That would really revolutionize your front court. Be way better at center than the centers you have currently. Cal, real solid, has the next squad. He's got 464K. Really good team. 2 elite point guards, 2 elite shooting guards, 2 elite small forwards, 2 elite power forwards, and really 2 elite centers as well. When you look at this team, it's not a squad that really needs a lot of work. I will say Sean Kemp would be an upgrade if you wanted to add him over Giannis, in my opinion. I think he's better than Draymond as well. I love that Kemp card. Think he's a monster. And then outside of that, I would again be grinding for Chris Bosh. You have the team for Chris Bosh. Steph Curry, Scottie Pippen, Anthony Davis. That team will get you Chris Bosh if you are good enough at the game. Gotta go target that card as well for sure, I would say. I think he's one who can make a lot of teams better and somebody you should be thinking about. And if you did want to upgrade in somewhere you can actually spend some MT on, Julius Erving would be an upgrade over Clyde Drexler significantly. I think Dr. J is a better all-around card than Clyde. He does everything Clyde does as well or better than Clyde. So that's basically how I would describe Dr. J. Mystic Playboy is the final team today. He says he's 25 co-op games from B-Roy and he's going to get Victor Oladipo. Oladipo is in the rotation. It's Kyrie, Baron Davis, and Victor Oladipo. I'd probably have all 3 of them in the lineup, to be honest. It's kind of up to you how you want to play those minutes. B-Roy is your new starting shooting guard. That's easy. I think Clay leaves the lineup entirely, to be completely honest. I would just go B-Roy and T-Mac as your shooting guards. I do think you're almost a little bit limited on playmaking with Baron and T-Mac off the bench, and you would definitely be limited on playmaking with Oladipo and T-Mac together. That is not a duo I would probably run. I also think your spacing off the bench could be a little limited with Baron and Giannis because Baron's more of a driver, although he is a good shooter. Giannis isn't an incredible shooter, but I don't think you're super limited spacing-wise. I think this team is really good, and honestly, I think it's probably the best constructed right now the way it is, with Baron over Oladipo as your backup point guard because he gives you more playmaking ability, and then you can have Brandon Roy starting at the 4. If you really want to upgrade, again, a guy like Sean Kemp at the 4 would be a huge upgrade. Could slide Ted into the 3. Roko's a great card, but it would make your team better if you did something like that. Outside of that, you could potentially go Bosh at the 5, AD back at 5, put Kemp at the 5 if you wanted to, or put Kemp at the 4. If you wanted to take Giannis out of the lineup to improve the shooting, that's another option, but you got a lot of MT. 700K is a lot, but that being said, you also have a great squad, so I think you're in a position where you probably just want to save your MT for the most part for next week's content. But with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.